Hello everyone, this is Paul Bertorelli reporting for AVweb and Aviation Consumer. I'm in Kennesaw, Georgia, where I'm at the headquarters of the Hansen Air Group. Hansen sells a line of light sports called the FK Lightplane line, and behind me is the FK12 Comet. Now, this airplane is the only biplane in the sport plane market, and it's also unusual in one other respect, in that it's aerobatic. It's not approved for aerobatics in its current form with the Rotax 912, but it soon will be with the Lycoming 0233, perhaps later this year. We're going to take a ride in this with Mitch Hansen from Hansen Air, but before we do that, let's take a basic look at the airplane itself.
The FK12 isn't the only aerobatic LSA, but it's the only biplane on the market. If it reminds you of a Pitts, well, that's not far off the mark. The airframe is stressed for 16 positive Gs and 9 negative Gs, far more than you'd ever need for gentlemen's aerobatics. It has a unique hybrid construction that's welded steel tube up front, riveted and gusseted aluminum tubing behind the cockpit, and foam ribs in the wings with carbon fiber spars. Like most biplanes, the Comet has a short wingspan, only 21 feet, and the length is 19 feet. It's light too. Empty weight is 650 pounds for a gross weight of 1,190 pounds. True to the European ultralight tradition, the Comet has folding wings, so you can trailer it or store it in your garage. Two would easily fit into a T-hanger. Once the low scud cleared out of Cobb County Airport, we took the FK-12 for a short flight trial. With all those struts and wires, the view from either cockpit isn't exactly expansive, and that's typical of biplanes. With forward-link flaperons, the Comet has terrific roll rate, and because the rudder is practically on the pilot's butt, it's short-coupled and requires deft footwork.
Mitch, we've taken a look at the outside of the airplane here in the FK-12 in general. I guess one question is, why a biplane for a light sport?
A lot of fun, really. It also gets you a lot of wing area with a little bit of a lot less wingspan, so keep the speeds down. Also, being a biplane, it's inherently braced very strong, and it's just the handling characteristics, great roll rate, tremendous strength, and just a whole lot of fun.
Now, this airplane has a 912 URS Rotax, not approved for aerobatic flight, although the airframe is, and the airframe is stressed to incredibly high load limits, probably higher than any amateur aerobatic pilot is ever going to get to, at least we hope. Now, the plan is that this airplane will be fitted with an engine for aerobatics. Tell us about that.
Yeah, right now our plan, the next two Comets are coming with the Lycoming AEIO 233 engine, which is the aerobatic version of their 233. It'll be fuel injection. Fuel injected, have an inverted oil system on it also. Also have heavier crank and connecting rods. And it'll be set up specifically for aerobatics. We will be able to do aerobatics with a regular 233 if we want to. It just won't have all the inverted systems on it.
Now, when we've been flying this around, it's very light on the controls, pretty easy to handle, but you really have to stay ahead of this airplane in terms of using the rudder and anticipating your control movements, especially on the ground with the locked tail wheel. We don't have a spring-mounted tail wheel here, the casters. With that in mind, it's not as easy to fly, say, as some of the light sports.
Yeah, it's not an airplane I would do primary instruction in by far. You know, it's going to be a guy who's had tail wheel experience, preferably at least in a Cub or a Champ. Hopefully, you know, a Pitts. It handles similar to a Pitts. It's very approximately the same size, short couple biplane. So it's not somebody, like I said, it's not someone you're going to turn a low time sport pilot loose on. However, you know, that's not to say it's impossible for somebody to fly. I haven't got that many tail wheel hours and managed to keep myself safe.
Well, thanks for the demo, Mitch.
You're welcome. Anytime.
This is Paul Bertorelli reporting for AVweb and Aviation Consumer from the front cockpit of FK12 Comet biplane. You can find a full report on the airplane in a future issue of Aviation Consumer. Thanks for watching.